Howdy y'all, Stock Warden here back with another video, and today we're covering Joby Aviation. Now it's been a little bit since we've covered Joby. We covered it back on the 24th of September, which was right here on this red candle. So we were looking at a lot of their different resistance lines and a lot of their trends, and the last video was also their initial video for this channel. So if you want to know more about Joby and their business model on what they're doing with their eVTOL systems, then I'll leave the video at the end of the video up in the top left hand of the screen. So don't be sure to not miss any of that. But let's go ahead and get into the video, into the new news as to what is happening and trending with Joby. So the stock has done some crazy performing here lately, where over the past couple of weeks they were encroaching on a new 52-week high as they ended up peaking at $20 a share. They were getting higher and getting ever so close to breaking that $21 a mark share, but they ended up having a huge upset where the shares fell over 11% whenever they ended up decided to price a $514 million discounted share sale. So the company ended up selling 30.5 million shares at $16.85 a share, which represented a solid 10.9% discount to the stock's previous close. So, and that's whenever you have this right here on Wednesday, October the 8th, when all of this was set in motion for them to sell out all of these shares. So Joby originally stated that it would use the proceeds to support the aircraft certification and manufacturing to prepare for commercial operations and fund working capital and other general corporate needs. So they're still pursuing forward and pushing forward and trying to get their aircraft in the air and be completely regulated and certified to do so. So if we kind of look at where the stock has been and where it's kind of trended a little bit, yes, it was going up, and this, I would call it watering down the shares and watering down the way that the stock has performed is the reason for this sort of shortfall drawback. But if you just increase kind of where we were originally at, I don't know why I did that. Sorry about that. So if you take where this stock has already been stationing and you bridge it across, you can kind of see that there is still some sides of resistance and type where it's still going to end up bridging no matter which way you look at it. So it has a bottom of still your about $16.25 a share. So that's the bottom that it's been holding on to even with this pullback for all of these shares. So that absolutely has to be an amazing comfort level to have that 16.25 share comfort level, so then you don't have to stress too hard on where it's going. So I mean, we have an all-time bottom resistance, I would call it, as a $13 a share full threshold, where the stock would have to completely make a 180 and tank itself to go below 13 a share. So if you're bullish at 13, I would continue to hold on for this bullish trend that's been coming through, because they're putting in some really nice things and they're looking forward into getting their certifications sooner than later, so then they can be the trendsetter in this eVTOL market. So that's going to be something great to see as they're doing this. Do I completely agree with them watering down the shares? Well, from an investor standpoint, I absolutely love it, because that means that I can buy more shares at a lower price before the price starts going up and getting, well, I say getting out of hand, before the stock price starts going up so high to where my money doesn't stretch as many shares as I would like it to. So that is a good thing for Joby Aviation, I believe. So that's going to end up bringing in a lot of great things and a lot of new things. So with them closing at $18 a share today, that is something that is huge because they are coming back extremely strong from this pullback. So that, and then not to mention, they are backed by Toyota Motor. So, and that is also expected to be able to benefit from Washington's push to speed up all these air taxi deployments through executive orders and pilot programs, which we talked about in the last video whenever they were announced last month in the month of September. So it's something that's going to be really great to see how well they're able to push and pursue through this. And another thing to look at for this stock, Joby has risen 133% this year as of its last closing. So the company has a market value of $16.3 billion according to data compiled by LSEG. So that, all of that in itself is an amazing thing to see for Joby and the direction that they're going in. There's a lot of other eVTOL companies out there that are trying to get into the race, and so far as investors and stock price and the overall business model on the stock side of things, Joby is so far pushing ahead in the investment standpoint, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're ahead in all of the rest of the market standpoint for their company, which we'll find out here shortly in the next following weeks whenever their Q3 comes through with all their earning reports and what they've been able to push all the way through for their key elements in this past quarter and where they're going to finish off 2025. So, but on the back side of things, Morgan Stanley has decided to maintain an equal weight on Joby Aviation, yet even though they say that it's going to be on an equal weight, they have raised their price target from $7 a share to $15 a share. So with them going from 7 to 15, then that means that their price target that they believe is not going to come down and go below our resistance bottom dollar that we're looking at on this trend down here on this line. So that in itself is going to be something to kind of hold on to as well. So then it seems that even your larger firms are looking at this stock price and saying, you know, it's not way too overvalued, and that they also believe it's going to continue progressing in the upward direction. So that's everything that I've got on Joby for this week. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I know I've got quite a few people watching that's not subscribed, so if y'all could please hit that subscribe button, because I'd love to start doing some live videos on Fridays and Saturdays, and maybe even drop in some lives during the week as well whenever I'm making these videos, where I could just do lives instead of doing videos. So where we can get more of the community on board to kind of look into everything and we can join in. So for now, this is the Stock Warden riding off. So y'all come back now, you hear?